It's simple to believe that money is the answer to everything in a society where material prosperity frequently takes center stage, particularly in relationships. However, as we examine the timeless wisdom of Stoicism, we discover a deeper reality. Whether intentionally or inadvertently, women appreciate traits in men that go well beyond material prosperity. Through the lens of Stoic philosophy, we'll reveal 11 important things that women secretly value more than money, demonstrating that what truly draws and holds affection is not material wealth, but the richness of one's soul, actions, and mindset. These qualities speak to a man's character, emotional intelligence, and inner strength, qualities that are impossible to buy or manufacture. Let's investigate how adopting these Stoic ideas might foster deep, enduring connections. Chapter 1. The importance of character in Stoicism over status. True riches are in one's character and virtues rather than in material belongings or social standing. According to this theory, a man's integrity, fortitude, and moral compass are more important to women than his material success. A man gains respect in ways that money could never buy when he upholds his morals and acts with absolute honesty. These qualities are naturally appealing because they provide emotional comfort, stability, and trust. A guy who lives virtuously has an aura that goes beyond consumerism. His moral fortitude lays the groundwork for deep and lasting connections. By upholding his moral principles, he fosters relationships that endure and are based on respect for one another, rather than merely fleeting desire. A man demonstrates an incomparable level of intelligence and emotional maturity. Stoic thinkers like Marcus Aurelius emphasize that one's integrity determines their genuine riches. Women genuinely appreciate strong, caring, and trustworthy qualities in a mate, and a man who embodies these qualities emanates confidence not because of his possessions, but rather because of who he is. Chapter 2. According to the Stoic perspective, emotional intelligence is a vital skill. The capacity to regulate one's emotions and behave sensibly in any situation is the most potent type of intellect. In private, women frequently place a higher importance on a man's emotional intelligence, EQ, than his financial situation. This is due to the fact that a man who can maintain composure and empathy in the face of adversity fosters a sense of emotional safety and security. His ability to listen and offer genuine support during challenging times is truly remarkable. Women value guys who are sensitive to their emotions, can control them, and offer clarity when they're confused. This emotional development builds trust and fortifies the emotional bond between partners. In contrast, men who act impulsively or let their emotions control their decisions can cause relationship instability. Stability and emotional safety are far more valuable than wealth, and a wise, Stoic man understands that emotional control is a powerful asset in every area of life, from romantic relationships to personal development. Collaborations. Chapter 3. Resilience in the face of hardship. Resilience training is one of the tenets of Stoicism. According to Stoic philosophy, we influence how we react to life's challenges, even though they are unavoidable. Women find men who are resilient in the face of adversity attractive because they don't give up under duress, but instead rise to the challenge with tenacity. A guy with inner strength is able to overcome hardship, maintain optimism in trying circumstances, and grow from setbacks. These are traits that money cannot purchase. Resilience refers to a woman's inner strength, emotional development, and sense of purpose, all of which can help her feel safe and supported. Adversities shape us, and we appreciate and admire those who emerge stronger. Resilience is an indication of mental toughness. A guy who has overcome personal adversity and emerged stronger leaves a lasting impression on a woman. He doesn't use material wealth to demonstrate his value. Rather, his capacity for tenacity and personal development does so. Chapter 4. Another quality of a Stoic philosopher is their capacity to make sensible choices based on reasoned considerations rather than rash impulses. Women secretly admire men who can make deliberate strategic decisions because it shows intelligence, responsibility, and foresight. It also gives them a sense of security to know that their partner can anticipate problems, weigh the pros and cons, and decide on the best course of action. It demonstrates the stability and maturity that are necessary in a relationship. While money may provide short-term enjoyment, knowledge in making wise judgments guarantees success and long-term happiness. A man who comprehends the value of patience and reason, as taught by Stoic thinkers such as Epicurus and Seneca, makes choices that put the greater, beneficial and long-term objectives first. This is far more precious than any worldly prosperity, since it results in a steady, contented life based on moral values. Chapter 5. The value of quiet and introspection in a noisy and distracting world. Women subconsciously appreciate a man who understands the importance of introspection and quiet. One can better comprehend their thoughts, feelings, and behaviors by engaging in the Stoic discipline of silent contemplation. Women respect guys who are at ease with quiet because it demonstrates a depth of self-reflection and a readiness to be in the moment with their own feelings and thoughts. A Stoic man steers clear of hasty emotional judgments and participates in more profound, meaningful conversations like this, foster an air of depth and mystery that money cannot buy. Women appreciate a man who can sit quietly and thoughtfully while considering the intricacies of life because it shows emotional control. This peacefulness naturally draws women who value the space it creates for meaningful conversations and connection. Self-awareness and inner peace, or the capacity to contemplate without the need for continual affirmation or outside distractions, are significant qualities that resonate deeply. Chapter 6. Self-improvement and humility. True power, according to the Stoic ideal of humility, resides in accepting one's limitations and persistently working toward personal development. Women frequently appreciate a man's capacity to maintain humility even in the face of success. A man who is open to growth, learning, and constructive criticism can build a meaningful relationship based on respect and understanding. This humility fosters an atmosphere in which both partners can develop jointly, learning from and supporting one another's individual journeys. Women prefer guys who exhibit humility and a dedication to ongoing improvement over those who boast about their wealth or successes. A humble man understands that nobody is flawless and that there are opportunities to grow in humility every day. Establishing a supportive and caring environment fosters the development of relationships in ways that money cannot. Chapter 7. The value of honesty and dependability. The core of Stoic philosophy is integrity. Women secretly value a man's integrity more than his wealth, because trustworthiness is a foundation of a long-lasting relationship. When a man consistently acts in accordance with his values, keeps his promises, and upholds a strong moral compass. A Stoic man's word is his bond, and he holds himself to high moral standards in all areas of life. He cultivates a respectful and trusting environment where women feel secure and valued in partnerships that prioritize morality and honesty over financial gain. A man's moral fiber and capacity for moral behavior in all circumstances are considerably more precious than any amount of money. Integrity is an enduring trait that promotes solid, wholesome bonds based on respect and trust. Chapter 8. Independence and self-sufficiency. A man who is self-sufficient, able to meet his own wants, and not dependent on other people for enjoyment, exhibits strength and confidence. Stoicism stresses the virtue of independence in both thought and conduct. Women subconsciously like men who have their own interests and aspirations because it demonstrates that they can support themselves. Since independence promotes harmonious, healthy relationships, it increases attractiveness. Women value men who pursue their own objectives with purpose and determination, rather than continuously looking for acceptance or validation. This allows both partners to preserve their individuality while forging a solid, interdependent bond. The ability of a man to support and love his partner while remaining self-sufficient shows the balance that Stoicism promotes, which many women find to be very appealing and significant. The chapter focuses on Stoicism's emphasis on virtue over riches, asserting that virtue is the ultimate good. Although pursuing riches is not always a negative thing, it should never take precedence over pursuing virtue. Women subconsciously admire men who place a higher emphasis on virtue, kindness, and personal development than on accumulating cash. A guy who lives a life of virtue-centered purpose leads with intention and qualities that are far more meaningful than financial achievement. Virtue can take many different shapes. Men who demonstrate compassion, courage, wisdom, and justice inherently captivate women. Who exhibits these qualities? A guy who strives to better himself, not for fame or fortune, but to become a better person, makes a lasting impact that money cannot buy. Chapter 10. The ability to sacrifice and self-denial. Stoicism places a strong emphasis on the value of self-denial and the capacity to set aside one's own interests in favor of the larger good. Women cherish men who demonstrate the willingness to make sacrifices for the well-being of others, particularly their loved ones, are highly valued by women. This kind of selflessness shows a degree of empathy and maturity that transcends the flimsy allure of wealth. A guy who engages in self-denial knows that genuine fulfillment originates from the long-term benefits of self-control, kindness, and dedication, rather than from immediate enjoyment. Women greatly respect this selflessness and sacrifice because they demonstrate depth of feeling and the capacity to prioritize the needs of others over one's own chapter. 11th, tranquility and contentment. Lastly, women place a high importance on the Stoic search for inner serenity and calm. According to Stoicism, contentment arises from accepting the present moment and finding fulfillment in one's circumstances rather than continuously striving for more. A man who can be content with what he has and does not constantly chase after the next material possession or success radiates a sense of peace that is truly magnetic. Women gravitate towards men who possess this inner tranquility, as it cultivates an atmosphere of stability and assurance. As we have seen through the lens of Stoic women, a guy who does not gauge his value by achievement or material belongings shows that true pleasure originates within. This peace of mind is a unique and priceless characteristic that holds far more significance than any financial gain. Give characteristics that are impossible to quantify with money alone a tremendous deal of weight: resilience, emotional intelligence, and integrity. These qualities include selflessness and wisdom, to name just a few. Adopting the Stoic principles of personal growth, virtue, and inner peace, which are based on something deeper than material gain, can lead to richer, more fulfilling relationships in a world that frequently overemphasizes material success. Wealth doesn't define you, character and values do. By living up to these principles, you not only become a better man, but also the kind of man that women truly value, one who stands firm in virtue and embraces life with wisdom and authenticity. Thank you for watching, and may you continue to grow and live in accordance with these Stoic teachings, establishing enduring connections that transcend the superficial.